This is Eyton Shalom with the Body Mind Wellness Center. This is a continuation of the previous video in which I did dry needling for this patient's headache and also his latissimus dorsi trigger point pain. And on the back I released the motor points and trigger points of the muscles that would be affecting his tension headache. And on the front I have released the trigger points in the temporalis muscle that refer, and there they are right there, and you'll notice those are horizontal insertion instead of needling directly into the muscle as you would in a large fleshy muscle. This is a thin muscle, so you needle diagonally, and so those are the temporalis muscles release. And then I've combined this with Classical Chinese Acupuncture, and this point here called Yin Tang is a point that relaxes the forehead and more importantly calms the mind. So when people have tension headaches, it's because their mind is not calm. Here on the left hand we have a famous point called Hagu, which is used for any kind of headache and any kind of facial pain or head pain. So this man's headache pain was behind his eyes, and that's why I chose this point. And his pain, it's interesting because this is the left hand, and this channel comes around and wraps around to the right side of the face. Here's his nose, sorry, right about there. Right about there, that's where that channel ends. So if you're treating a right-sided headache, you choose that point on the left side. In addition, I've done this point here, gallbladder 34, which is the master point of all of the fascia in the body. So it has a generalized relaxing effect on fascia anywhere in the body. And then this point here, gallbladder 41, is the #1 point for headache pain on the side of the head, or one-sided headache pain. And in this case you do it on the same side that the pain is on, because this channel, the gallbladder channel, ends at the little toe. Let me back up. Ends at the little toe, runs up the side of the leg, and I'll skip the intermediate part, but it ends up on the side of the head, on the side of the eyebrow. Sorry, bad camera work, side of the eyebrow right there. So he has trigger point tension on the side of the head right on the gallbladder channel, so I do that point. And then finally this point, San Yin Jiao, which is what we would call a nourishing point. So it's kind of, think of the analogy of if an irritable, stressed out person is like a dried out sponge. If you moisten the sponge by promoting the flow of yin, then the sponge gets moist and flexible. You know, when we're tense, we become inflexible. And when we're relaxed, we're very flexible. That's why when you relax and then you stretch and bones crack and things like that. So for me, this is an example of how I combine classical Chinese acupuncture with dry needling to get a more profound effect and a more thorough effect. Because when I do the classical Chinese acupuncture with the dry needling, in addition to treating trigger points, I'm treating the human being that the trigger points exist in. And that would be a Chinese medical approach to dry needling.